It started with a weird headache. Like, not just tired from hiking all day kind of headache. More like, am I about to pass out in the middle of a hostel lobby in Laos kind of headache. I was 2 months into a 3-month backpacking trip across Southeast Asia. Living out of a 50-liter backpack, sleeping in bunk beds, making friends over street food and night buses. I felt unstoppable until that headache turned into a fever. And then the fever turned into, well, I'll spare you the details, but let's just say I spent more time in the bathroom than I ever wanted to. At first, I thought it was just something I ate. You kind of expect that when you're eating grilled chicken on a stick from a roadside stand at 2 a.m. But then I couldn't keep anything down. Not water, not rice, not even those electrolyte packets everyone tells you to bring. I remember sitting on the floor of the hostel shower, shivering, fully clothed, just letting the water run over me because I literally didn't have the energy to move. That's when the panic kicked in. I was alone, in a country where I didn't speak the language. I had no idea how the healthcare system worked, and I was too sick to Google anything. I messaged my mom back home. Big mistake. She went into full crisis mode. She started calling hospitals from Michigan, trying to find English-speaking doctors in Vientiane. Meanwhile, I was curled up in bed, hoping this wasn't some sort of tropical disease I'd need to be airlifted out for. But then I remembered. I had bought travel insurance before I left. Honestly, I just clicked the checkbox when I booked my flights, thinking it was one of those just-in-case things. Didn't really expect to use it. Definitely didn't read the fine print. But in that moment, it became my safety net. I found the policy email buried in my inbox and saw the emergency contact number. Called them, sounded like I was whispering through a pillow, but they understood. They helped me find a nearby clinic, sent a car to pick me up, and even arranged for a translator to be there. Within a couple of hours, I was getting fluids through in 4 and finally able to sleep without waking up in a cold sweat. Turns out it was a nasty bacterial infection, nothing life-threatening, but definitely something I couldn't have handled with just rest and bottled water. The craziest part? The whole thing, clinic visit, medications, transportation, even an extra night at a guest house while I recovered, was fully covered. I didn't pay a cent. And I think that's when it really hit me. Travel isn't just beach photos and passport stamps. It's messy and unpredictable and sometimes really freaking hard. And when stuff goes sideways, you don't want to be figuring out logistics with a 102-degree fever. One thing I learned? If you're planning a trip, especially the kind where you're bouncing between countries or off the beaten path, don't just rely on luck and Google. Have a plan for when things go wrong. Like, actually wrong. For me now, I use something called auras.insure. It's not flashy, and I found it through a friend who travels full-time. But it's become one of those non-negotiables I always set up before a trip. Super simple, affordable, and way more intuitive than whatever I used that first time. I don't even think about it now, it's just there in the background, doing its thing. It's kind of like packing a raincoat. You don't want to carry it, but when the storm hits, you're so glad you did. Anyway, I bounced back a few days later. Even made it to Luang Prabang and took the slow boat down the Mekong. But I think that experience changed the way I travel. Not in a bad way. Just with a little more respect for what my body can handle and a little more gratitude for systems that catch you when you fall. So yeah, if you're planning a trip, wherever it is, just take 2 minutes and look into a solid travel insurance plan. Doesn't have to be mine, but seriously, get something. And if you want to check out what I use, I'll drop the link to Auras in the description. Hope you never need it, but if you do, you'll be really, really glad it's there.